The Supreme Court further laid down certain guidelines that where accidents take place, there are no medical treatments available to these victims. So the Supreme Court stated that there should be trauma centers and first aid centers established so that they get prominent medical attention at the earliest. The court also stated that it is also necessary to consider the establishment of Road Safety Bureau to lay down road safety standards and norms. The court further stated that an amendment can be made to the Motor Vehicles Act of 1988, wherein the Schedule 2 can be amended in order to incorporate compensation in case of uninsured vehicles as well. So the question of victims hit by cars that have not been insured will also be covered by the Motor Vehicles Act of 1988. Furthermore, the court held that where there is no insurance cover for a vehicle, the owner should be directed to offer security or deposit an amount adequate to satisfy the award that may be ultimately passed as a condition precedent for release of the seized vehicle involved in the accident. If such security or cost deposit is not made within a period of 3 months, appropriate steps may be taken for disposal of the vehicle and hold the sale proceeds in deposit until the claim is disposed of. The appropriate government may consider incorporation of the rules of the line of Rule 6 of the Delhi Motor Accident Tribunal Rules 2008 in this behalf. So what the court did was in this, it stated that the owner, whenever a claim is filed, should deposit the amount of the vehicle that is confiscated so that at least compensation has been secured in such a situation. And after that, the vehicle may be released. And such compensation should be so which may be awarded to the victim in the future. Though the Supreme Court gave all these guidelines in the present case law and also directed to amend the Motor Vehicles Act of 1988, in spite of all these directions, when the legislature amended the Motor Vehicles Act by incorporating the Motor Vehicles Amendment Act of 2019, barely any of these directions were incorporated in the Act. So it was a failure on part of the legislature to overlook the decision of the Supreme Court and pass an amendment which is barely of any use to the public at large. The problems that were prevalent in the Motor Vehicles Act of 1988 are still in existence today in spite of numerous amendments have been made under it. Apart from the issues with the Amendment Act of 2019 and apart from various decisions given by the Supreme Court, there are still certain hurdles in the way of achieving road safety in India. So what are these hurdles? The first important hurdle is civilians' responsibility and negligence attitude. So we civilians fail while deposing our duties as well and our negligent behavior such as chalta hai. We simply break rules because 100 and 500 rupees do not matter to most of us. In spite of imposing imprisonment as well as hefty fines on drunken and driving, and in spite of knowing the major consequences that can happen due to a person drinking and driving on the road, yet we are negligent in the same manner. We still drink and drive because we think it's cool to do so and wait for the cops to catch us. We never satisfactorily obey the rights and duties ourselves. Furthermore, it is considered cool among teenagers and young bike riders to rashly and negligently drive motor vehicles on the road. It is a parent's responsibility to guide the children as to how they should drive on the road and should keep a watch on their riding and driving skills as well. It is not the only duty of the government as well as the legislature to incorporate rules and regulations in order to keep all these young minds under control. It is also the duty of the general public as well as the parents of these children to keep a watch on them. The second hurdle is the awful condition of the roads. So no matter how many rules and regulations are laid down in order to attain road safety, but if there are bad roads and there are potholes after every 2 meters of the road, it is impossible to prevent road accidents, especially where there are no lights on the roads as well. It is difficult for a rider, no matter how cautious he or she is, to spot a pothole and not fall into one of those. The third hurdle is that the vehicle designs in India are below the vehicle design standards that have been accepted internationally. So you are still a way behind in accepting and formulating vehicle designs that are acceptable worldwide. The next hurdle is improper implementation of road safety standards. Though there have been numerous safety rules and regulations on paper, but in its implementation, there has been nothing done much in this scenario. For example, there are no dividers on the road. Even if there are dividers, they are literally left and right here and there, which cause more road safety hazards than preventing safety hazards. Furthermore, The government is supposed to draw lines, stop lines, zebra crossing, and provide other safety measures for the road drivers. However, none of these are provided by the government. How are we supposed to obtain road safety unless these road safety rules are successfully implemented? The next hurdle in achieving road safety is lack of emergency services. Other than India, if we look at all the developed countries like the USA, the UK, Japan, and other countries, we see that they have an appropriate emergency service mechanism. There are roads, there are rules wherein when an emergency vehicle passes, all obey these rules and regulations, and not just about obeying, there are various mechanisms to implement the same. Like for example, in international roads, there are extra lanes on the left or the right hand side of the road which are used only during emergency uses. There are no such emergency implementation rules and regulations as well as services in India as of today. So these are some of the hurdles that are faced in order to achieve road safety in India. So as we've seen above, it is not just the role of the government or the laws of the court in order to achieve road safety, but it is also the action of its citizens that plays a vital role in securing road safety around us.